Ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, presents another impressive episode of 50 Minutes of Fandom. In the first quarter, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. In the second quarter, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana. Now they love him in Japan. No cap, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is actually the mother of our, not only is she one of our mods, but she's also the mother of one of our other mods, hailing from the west side, which is the best side. Everybody, welcome to the show, the Survivor Queen, Miss Jennifer Barum. Ma'am, how you doing tonight?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just here, relaxing here in North Carolina. I just got off a 12-hour shift, so yeah, I'm pretty much a bit tired, but I'm doing fine.
Thank you for having me on.
Hey, no problem. Look, thank you for actually giving us this opportunity. So, I gotta ask. So you were a wrestling fan, of course. Well, I don't know if you know, but this 15 Minutes of Fandom. This is actually our segment where we actually interview our fellow wrestling fans, and talk to them regarding their love for pro wrestling and certain experiences that they've had and so on. If you're nervous, don't be. Trust me, Rob here has actually started off as a guest on 50 Minutes of Fandom. So, and your own daughter did as well too. So if you're feeling nervous, don't be. But yeah. But I gotta ask. So when did you become a fan of professional wrestling?
Oh my God. It was when I was a young child. It was when I think I was about 13, 14 years of age. Mom took me and my sister out to shopping. Well, my mom wanted to do shopping for my sister, so I told her, okay, I'll be next door at a local arcade. Well, just think, well, I had to walk a little further than just next door, and I passed by a TV station or a TV shop. And I saw Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant going at it. So, like I said, this was when I was 13, 14 years of age. So this is quite a while. And I think at that point, I started to become very interested in the wrestling scene. And but what really pulled it off, I think, was just the fact that my dad would once in a while see wrestling a long time ago. So he's now into boxing and is such worth. But yeah, it started off at that point with the wrestling with Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, it seems like most people, like when they start off watching wrestling, it's actually Hulk Hogan is the one that is the first person that they actually start watching. Because my first match I saw, first ever wrestling match that made me become a fan, was Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake versus the Macho King Randy Savage and Zeus. That was SummerSlam '89, but that was a VHS tape, so that was probably like early 1990s. But yeah, and I was hooked ever since then. So yeah, I mean, even though he's not one of the most popular people right now, I just gotta say, Hulk Hogan really, Hulk Hogan really and truly, knew how to put on a show for us.
All right.
Yeah. So, did you ever when you were younger? Did you ever get to go to any of the shows, like, the WrestleManias or SummerSlams? Or
no, at that point, no. At that point, my mom and dad, like I said, I was 13, 14 at the time, still going to school. My studies were more important at that point, but it was just getting to the point to where, like I said, it was just that just a real quick passing through down the street to go to the arcade. And while my mom took my sister shopping, um, at that point, that like I said, it was just a quick view of just passing by, and then that caught my eye on the TV. So I sat there, or I stood there in front of the store looking at the TV set, and that's when it started, to finally get into the interest of it. So, oh yeah, I mean, at that point, I was hooked. But it got to the point where I don't want to see if I'm going to be pushing it a little bit further, but it really hooked and lined and sinkered for me when I saw Fighting with My Family.
Nice.
Yeah, with the Knight family, yeah, with Paige, Zachary, Ricky and Julia, and their other son and their brother. So, but at that point, that's when I was really hooked to the wrestling scene.
Yeah, that was a very great movie. We actually had the pleasure of having Soraya Knight on our show, and that was honestly speaking, we've interviewed so many people. We've interviewed one half of the first ever WWF Women's Tag Team Champions, Princess Victoria, Thunder Rosa, Mustafa Said from the Gangsters, even some of the hot newcomers like Danny Limelight and Mr. Grimm and many other people. And I have never been so nervous until I'd never been so nervous before I actually before I actually interviewed Soraya Knight. I was like, oh man, this is Paige's mom. What am I gonna say? I don't want to come off as a dork. And I'm normally a chill guy. I mean, Rob could say I'm like all charismatic and whatnot, and I'm like all full of energy and whatnot. And I'm like, and at that point, I'm like in my mind, I'm like going, oh man, what am I gonna tell this woman? Like, how do I this is a legend pretty much. Like, what do I? But I was like, what do I, say? But luckily I had Rob and Kathy there. So, they pretty much, held it down and so on. I didn't do too much stuttering, but yeah, they pretty much held it down.
I do that too when I'm nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so now that you're back into it, who do you enjoy watching a lot?
Who do I enjoy watching a lot?
Yeah. Like cheering for and seeing in the ring and all that.
Dang, there's so many that I like to watch. Probably the Hardys, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy,
okay.
The Hardy brothers, I think.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, the Hardy Boys, they're very impressive. I remember, and it's funny because I remember seeing them when they first started, and I was like, they have a great high flying ability. Like, they're pretty good at what they do. And then that was circa 1995, and then all of a sudden, like 3 years later, at the time I was going to tutoring, so I didn't really get to watch a lot of WWE. But I would hear about the news through my cousin, and my cousin told me, yeah, this tag team called the Hardy Boys. They're with Gangrel. And I'm like, I know those two guys. They used to wrestle back in like a couple of years before, but they didn't look as cool. Like, because now they had like the baggy jeans and the tight fitting shirts and the arm sleeves. I'm like, wow, those guys are pretty cool. So with that being said, you being a Hardy Boys fan, do you think professional wrestling has given Matt Hardy a fair shake?
I couldn't answer that honestly. I really can't, because I haven't been able to keep on with the scene or anything like that. So I really can't answer that, Remy. Honestly, I can't.
Did you want me to try and answer that?
Yeah, I got it. Because I've followed.
Sorry, I just sit a little closer so I can hear the speaker a little bit better.
It's
Sorry.
it's okay. But yeah, I followed Matt Hardy's career, and actually the Hardy Boys were one of my favorite tag teams. And I've always thought that, you know what, Jeff Hardy, he's very entertaining in the ring, but Matt is like the creative one. Like, and I always thought that Matt Hardy's career should have taken off. I mean, it's taken off now, but this should have been done like 15, 16 years ago. That's when his career should have taken off. But at least he's getting a fair shot now. So now I just have one more question before I turn it over to Rob. I know Rob, he has a couple of questions for you as well. So with the world reopening and wrestling events, you know, having an audience again, a live audience again, do you have any intentions to go to any of the wrestling events like WWE or AEW or WrestleMania or any of those pay-per-views?
Yeah, I mean, I think there might be one coming in. I think in Covina or in Riverside. I think there's supposed to be a match. I don't know if it's AEW or any of the others, but I told Alicia, I said the next time it comes into town and stuff, you bet we're going to go to one of them. So just to get to feel what the excitement is, what, feel the thunder of the applauses and stuff. I am just so for. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So
it's actually Empire Wrestling Federation. It's not like AEW or WWE.
Oh well, it's Empire Wrestling, but it's still in the same type of category as wrestling. So that's the whole thing.
Right. You guys are hearing me too.
Yeah,
so.
You're my other ears anyway.
I'm actually a fan of the indies, and I enjoy going to the indies more because, you get that close interaction, that close feeling with the wrestlers, and you get to meet so many, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, you get to meet fans, but it's, like for example, me, I get to network with wrestlers and be like, hey, if you ever want me to promote your stuff, feel free to hit me up at this website. I mean, not just for clout, but just to help the business and so on. And it's just a whole other feeling whenever you're at an indie show. I mean, don't get me wrong, WWE. Well, I've been to AEW shows, but the WWE shows, attending one of those it's an experience unlike any other. But the indie circuit is just so different, and I would actually prefer that a bit more though. But I'm going to go ahead and turn over to Rob. I know Rob has some questions for you as well. So Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on? How's everything going over there in California?
Oh, hot.
Oh man, that's not good.
We just had to turn off the air conditioner, so we're able to make sure that you guys can hear us without the extra echoing of the air conditioner going on.
Oh Lord. Oh man, I would, if that was me, I'd been like, it's part of my AC, but I guess I'm gonna have to talk loud. I can't sacrifice my AC. I praise Buddha, whoever invented AC. Oh man, I love AC. Oh, I don't know how people in the 1800s did without it. Oh my Lord, like jeez. So you're talking earlier about, you got back into wrestling, watching Fighting with My Family and stuff, the Page movie. It was a great movie. I enjoyed that movie too. Now I did want to ask, The Rock, he was a wrestler and stuff. He's made a lot of movies. Now, what are your favorite Rock movies?
What are my favorite what?
Rock movies, like Rock Johnson.
Love Rock. I love Rock Johnson. I love him. I like. I think the first time I ever saw him, I think, was in the movie Scorpion. I think.
Oh, okay.
If I remember right, I think he was in one of those movies, and I think that's when I actually started falling in love with him. As a person, just to be as what he is. At that time, I didn't realize that he was an actual wrestler until they started showing scenes I don't know where I saw the scenes at, but it wasn't during the movie at all. I think it was like oh yeah, it was the advertisements and stuff that you normally get before the movie would start. But
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
I saw a couple of him. I don't know who he was wrestling because the scene shots were so quick, so I really couldn't catch on as to see who he was playing or who he was fighting up against. But I wanted to get by what Remy was saying earlier, that I surprised Alicia maybe about a month and a half ago when she saw me watching NXT on TV and the AEW on TV. And she goes, "Mom, you're watching NEW, you're watching NXT." I said, "Yeah." I mean,
That's
I
right.
might as well, because it's just so that way I would get a little bit more interested into the wrestling scene, and how to go about being more familiar with the different type of wrestling moves and all that type of stuff.
Hmm.
All the wrestling moves, it goes in one ear and out the other. So just to let you know about that. But I'm sorry about the interfering with your questions, Rob. I hope you
No, you're
understand.
good. No, you're good. Do your thing. Do your thing. That's why you're here. You talk about whatever you want. You good. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you. Sometimes the moves they go in one ear and out the other and stuff. Man, yeah, I'm like, da, 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 da. My friends will look at me and be like, that wasn't the move, whatever. And something else, I'm like, whatever. It sounded good when I was yelling the name out anyway. So, uh, now have you got to catch any of those A&E documentaries and Dark Side of the Ring things like the China doc? They were on like a couple months ago.
No.
They were doing stuff on like, and then they were also doing stuff on A&E like Mick Foley, his documentary. They also have one, Hidden Treasures, where they go and hunt down, old WWE stuff. Have you seen any of that stuff?
No, not really.
No, I'm sorry. Alicia's trying to tell me what to say because I can't hear half the times.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm trying to lip read and it's not working.
Oh,
Um,
my bad. My
no,
bad.
that's
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
I'm all country.
To answer your question, no, not really. But we did see Vicky Guerrero over here in Ontario, Riverside or something
Oh,
like that. Alicia was doing a meet and greet with Vicky Guerrero, so I was able to kind of wave at her from a distance. I wasn't able to get too close to her because I didn't pay for the ticket and I was just starting through my chemotherapy, so I wasn't really feeling all that good anyway. So, but I knew she needed to see her. I knew she needed to see Vicky Guerrero, so that's why I figured, okay, let's just go, and at least we met somebody in person that was in the wrestling scene.
hmm. Now, have you got to meet Paige or talk to her yet through Twitch? Paige, have you got to talk to her or anything yet?
You know what? She rated both of us, if I remember right, on
Yes, she
Twitch.
did. In fact, yeah, she rated both of us.
Oh,
She,
okay.
we had Sharaya rate us.
It's
We
Rita's
had
page.
Zach rate us, and we
Oh,
also had
wow.
Ricky and Julia Knight rate us. So, I
Damn.
mean, I could not have asked for a better surprise. Needless to say, my jaw was literally hitting the floor. You hear the thump, and that's how bad the excitement was. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah,
that type of
that's
thing.
cool.
I mean, and then they did the same thing with Alicia, and oh my god, and it was just fantastic. Couldn't have asked for a better surprise.
Oh yeah, I couldn't imagine that. I mean, the whole family. Yeah, y'all had the whole family up there. You didn't have just one, two, or man, you're getting everybody. Everybody's trying to join y'all.
Yeah,
That is awesome. That is awesome. Oh man, I don't know what I would do. I would probably be like you. My jaw, it would hit the floor also. I'd just be like,
yeah.
oh man. Now, did you get to catch any wrestling last night? There was wrestling last night. Did you get to catch any of it? It was AEW. I think it was Fighter Fest Day One or something.
I missed that one. I don't think we did we?
I I couldn't. I'm sorry, Rob. Can you do a little bit louder on your volume?
Okay, my bad. Here, let me. Yeah. Did you get to catch the AEW wrestling last night?
Not that I'm aware of. No,
Okay, that's cool. So, but are you excited for Money in the Bank Sunday? The pay per
That's
view
kind
for
of
wrestling.
hard. I don't know.
We have to pay for it though.
Yeah, we'd have to pay for
Oh,
it.
okay. I
Yeah,
got
because
you.
we've only got the basic channels on the Dish Network, the Dish
Oh,
satellite,
okay.
so we don't get a whole lot of sports, if anything. I mean, the only thing that we were
Okay, I
able
got
to
you.
get, well, the only thing that we were able to get is the Ion or it's just usually one of, I'm sorry, what?
USA.
USA, yeah.
Sorry, we have a train going by us.
Yeah, we're like 35 feet away from a Metrolink train track. So every 15,
Oh,
20
it's
minutes,
good.
you'll hear
It's
it
all
go
good.
by.
No, it's fine,
But
man. It's fine.
yeah, but that would be the only time. But the only problem with me is I don't have a good memory when it comes to who I was seeing. It was just out of pure happenstance that I was able to remember who I saw to get me into the interest of the wrestling scene, and that was uh, again Hulk Hogan with Andre the Giant. That part I do remember, but what happened, a month or two ago, what have you, if it's something that I'm not interacting with every day, then I end up losing the consciousness of it, or I'm losing the memory of it, which unfortunately is what part of the chemo does. Anyway, not only that, but when you get old, you end up losing it. I'm just having a blast time with you guys tonight. I really am.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm having a blast too. I was gonna ask, since you're over there in San Dimas, do you have any time traveling phone booths around?
Knew you were going to say that, Rob.
Do what?
I knew you
Some
were going
time
to say
traveling phone
new
booths.
in regards to time travel.
Excellent.
Oh, Bill and Ted. Oh yeah, love that movie. Love it with Keanu Reeves. Oh, I mean, I think
Alex Winter, yeah.
yeah. It oh my god, it is. I'm sorry that Alicia's in here next to me because half the time I wouldn't. I'm having a hard time with the mouth moving and trying to do lip reading, and I am so sorry. But now I could teach you sign language. It's real easy. But
Oh my God.
but no. To get back to what we were saying, yeah, no, I don't think I have any interest right now in doing any time traveling. And it looks like we lost Remy again.
It's all good. His internet, sometimes cuts in and out.
We were
So
having problems with Wi-Fi earlier today too, so that's why I'm just like, man, you better stay on tight now. Oh, here he is! Yay, he's back
all right,
on.
that's right. So yeah, I was just before I pass it on back to Remy and stuff, I was gonna say I'm glad for you coming on chatting with us. It was a blast chat with you. Especially I love chatting with people all the way on the West Coast in California and stuff. You know what I mean? Oh man, it's always awesome because it's always I always imagine it sunny and beautiful over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we've had our fair share of humidity too. So, and the summer's just started. So it's
Mhm.
and I used to live in Phoenix, Arizona. Man, you would have to change your shirt every 5 minutes because you were constantly sweating through it or perspiring through it. So yeah, I'm just having a fun time with you, but it's just having to constantly going outside and trying to water the plants before it starts getting too hot, and then the summer heat. I would prefer the cooler part of the seasons than summertime because when you go through the change of life, and I don't think you guys want to get interested into that. But you know that when we get older, we go through the change, and yeah, exactly. As you can tell, I'm getting a little red right here, and that's where it starts from the neck, and it goes all the way up. So, but yeah, I love it. The summer's okay. We have a community pool and jacuzzi, and also a rec room. So, if they start lighting up on the COVID situation and stuff, and bring back some of the with minimum time of using the weight sections and there's a billiard. Alicia and I, we used to play darts all the time, so we used to have fun doing that. While it got a little while it got a little warmer outside, we would be inside doing stuff like that. So we're just trying to play it, plugging along, playing it day by day, and trying to trying to get it situated. And oh, no worries. But yeah, we're taking it day by day.
That's cool. Yeah. So before I pass it on back to Remy and stuff, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day, coming on chat with us. And I definitely had a blast. I was hoping Lucy would come in or something, but I don't know what she's doing. She's probably taking a nap or fighting Radar or Katie or something. But
And I hope I answered your questions. I hope.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good to go.
Oh, thank you.
I had a blast.
Me too. Thank you, Rob.
This is Mr. Barum. I just gotta say, thank you very much for actually appearing on our show. We really and truly do appreciate it. We know that y'all got other things going on right now, but we really and truly appreciate you actually giving us opportunity as well. Before we actually close, just let you go and close the show. Where can fellow fans find you on social media if they want to shoot the breeze about wrestling and so on?
Okay, so he was asking, where would other fans be willing to follow you on social media, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Twitch?
The funny thing is Alicia knows all that information by heart. I don't.
Okay, do you want me to say it?
It's Jen L. Bar for Twitter, right?
No, Jen Lynn Bar 1.
Yeah, Jen Lynn Bar 1 for Twitter. It's Jennifer Barum for Facebook. And then what would be the other?
Instagram would be Survivor Queen 424, and then Twitch would be Mama Disney 2020.
There you go. Thank you, Alicia, for that.
Awesome.
I mean, I have a bad memory for stuff like that. I apologize.
Hi, everybody.
It's okay. There are so many social media outlets out there. It's that's why I told your daughter, I'm like, look, we're on Twitch. You and Kathy, y'all deal with that. I'm getting too old for all these social media things. Twitter and Instagram and YouTube are enough for me, and Facebook. Everything else is just, I leave that to those. I'm almost 40, so that's social media thing's a young man's game. So I leave that to all those, the young boys and the young girls out there. That's their game, But yeah, so with that being said, we're about to go and shut down the show right now. Alicia, thanks very much for actually
my pleasure. I had a lot of fun.
Thanks for having us, Remy.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll do it again sometime.
Do you want me to say my
too? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, so hey y'all, it's of course me, Alicia the Warrior Princess. You can also find me on Twitter under Endo Survivor 282, Instagram under Endo Survivor 282, Twitch under Twitch under Alicia Warrior Princess. Hey.
Awesome. So with that being said, it's about time for us to shut down the show. My eyes are getting a bit heavy, so that means it's time for me to take a little nap. But before I go ahead and do that, Rob Bass, where can fans find you on social media if they want to talk wrestling, or if they want to be on the show, or where can promoters and bookers find you if they want to hire you for your refereeing services? Yes, y'all heard me correct. He's actually training to become a wrestling referee, so you'll definitely see him in action real soon. But what you got on social media, Rob?
All right, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I think Twitch, Rob_Bass82, and then Facebook and YouTube, Rob Bass.
Awesome. And if you want to find me on social media, not I have anything cool to say these days, but who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky. You'll find me on Twitter under @TheRemyBlue. You can also find me on Facebook under Remy Blue. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28. So definitely go ahead and add me on those social media platforms. Our podcast is also on Instagram and Twitter under at Ringside Society. And we're also on Twitch under Ringside Society 2019. That's right. And we're also on Teespring. Yes, we have merchandise available. Definitely check us out. All proceeds from those merchandise sales go back into keeping this show up and running. It definitely doesn't go in our pockets. Trust me, if it did, I wouldn't be eating hamburger helper. So definitely help us out.
Sorry, yeah, they're phone on.
We're also check us out on check out our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group called Ringside Society. We have a lot of cool stuff in there. And we're also on YouTube. Yes, YouTube is actually one of the platforms where this episode is being streamed right now. So subscribe to our YouTube. Not just don't personalize it. Subscribe to all the videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming. We already got a lot of cool interviews like this one. You know, our first ever 50 Minutes of Fandom with Judy Kondo from the Philippines. Yes, Charles Wolfwood, you heard that right. Our first ever 50 Minutes of Fandom guest was from the Philippines. So in about 5 minutes, I expect you to actually message us and see about getting your own 50 Minutes of Fandom on our show too. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. We really and truly do appreciate you. You don't know how much we do appreciate you. Everything we do here is for y'all, the fans. Everything we do for y'all here is for y'all, the fans, from the interviews, from posting different promotional events on Instagram to just giving fun tidbit facts. Everything we do for you is for you, the fans. And our summer giveaway is coming soon. So once again, thank you very much. For those of you that are going to listen to us later on via our YouTube channel or Twitch or Facebook group, thank you in advance. And for those of you that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we would just go away, well, I'm very sorry, but it's been 2 years, man. Like myself in the Golden Corral, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we here at Ringside Society just want everybody to know that we're very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag, we are not the same. So with that being said, Raw Base, one time for the mind. Oh, and Alicia the Warrior Princess.
Mm-hmm.
One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for Miss Jennifer Barnum over there on the best side, the west side, California. Yay! What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
We are definitely the Wrestling
That's
Podcast.
I was going the wrong way, sorry.
Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. So that being said, we will be back tomorrow night at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after SmackDown, because that's when we will be doing our Money in the Bank predictions panel. Who will win? Who will lose? What surprises will happen? Well, you'll get to hear our own take on it tomorrow at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube, Twitch, and our Facebook group. But until then, with that being said, we're still going through a pandemic. So stay healthy, stay safe, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.
Stay safe, San Dimas.
Bye.